Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Would you want Colin Kaepernick to be a Raider? That's how I'm starting the show off. Type Y for yes or type N for no in the comments section. I already see a bunch of people who are watching us live here on the Raiders Report on YouTube already debating about Colin Kaepernick. And coming up here, I'm going to tell you whether or not the Raiders are actually interested in Kaepernick. Y for yes, N for no. So the first rumor on today's show, are the Raiders attending Colin Kaepernick's workout? How many Chucky heads do you think this rumor is? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, for me, I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. Now, I'm going to give you whether or not I think the Raiders are interested in just a second. So NFL clubs, they were informed on Tuesday that a private workout will be held for Kaepernick on Saturday in Atlanta. The session will include the on-field work and an interview. All teams are invited to attend. Let me say that again. All teams are invited to attend. And video of both the workout and the interview will be made available to them. One source from an NFC team told ESPN's Josina Anderson that the team will review on Wednesday morning whether to attend Kaepernick's workout. He also said this: "We have nothing to lose by attending Kaepernick's workout, but I still think for us, it would just be all about gathering as much information as possible." All I'm saying here is, yes, I'm giving this one 2 Chucky heads, okay? The real thing is, do not be surprised if the Oakland Raiders do send somebody to go look at Colin Kaepernick's workout. He has been a quarterback of much discussion on this show and basically around the NFL. Now, Colin Kaepernick is 32 years old. He has not played in the NFL since 2016, and in that year in 2016, he had 16 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Sure, I don't have the rushing yards on here. Cool thing about the internet, you can look them up. But I also don't really know if I can rely on a quarterback who hasn't played the last 3 seasons. Not only has he hasn't played, he hasn't even been in the league. So I see a lot of people typing your Y and you're typing your N. So are the Oakland Raiders, do they have actual interest in Colin Kaepernick? I'm going to give you that answer right after I tell you guys to subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report. So if you want to shout out on the show right now, so everyone who's watching the show right now, if you are a subscriber to the Oakland Raiders Report, type sub in the comments section. If you're not a subscriber, click that big red button, subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. We are the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube because of the nation, because of people like Rusty Nail, because of people like Bearded Cowboy, Richard, Aeneas Mom, what up? Anthony Magnum, shout out to you. Captain, 510 Will, Thumper World, Boise B. Tell your friends to subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report, youtube.com/Raiders Report. I'm trying to get to 40K subscribers, and when I do, I am going to put out this video. This is the first video that I ever made on the Raiders Report, and it's not on YouTube. You can't find it. It's 2 years ago. It was a long, long time. So once we hit 40K subscribers, I'm going to put this video on, and you guys can all make fun of me. How many Chucky heads would you give that photo? The correct answer is 0. Tuck rule. Tuck that. Next rumor. Colin Kaepernick to the Oakland Raiders. How many Chucky heads? Kaepernick to the Raiders. The reason why I'm doing this show is because, yes, the NFL is having a workout for Colin Kaepernick. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders send somebody to go watch him. The reason why I'm putting this on my show, though, are the Raiders actually interested in Colin Kaepernick? No. 0 Chucky heads. Tuck rule. Tuck that. If the Raiders send anybody to go watch Colin Kaepernick, I can already see all these articles coming out that the Raiders are going to go out and get Colin Kaepernick. It's not going to be true. There is no reason whatsoever for the Oakland Raiders to have any interest in Colin Kaepernick at this point, okay? The main also reason why I think that there's no way it's going to happen, on Saturday, coaches and players, they're going to be heading to their hotels and they're going to be prepping for the Bengals game, okay? I understand the Bengals are 0-9, but if you sleep on any team in the NFL, you could lose. Look what happened this past week with the Colts. Look what happened this past week with the Falcons. Don't sleep on the Bengals just because they're 0-9. And if you take your focus off them and put it on a quarterback who I don't really think should be on our team because Derek Carr has played great this season, don't waste your time, okay? Don't waste your time. If you see an article out there that the Raiders are going to get Colin Kaepernick, just remember this video. So would you want Kaepernick to be a Raider? I'll ask you again. Type Y for yes or type N for no. Throw it in the comments section because I always think anytime we talk about Colin Kaepernick, shout out to Jake Bishop for the super chat. I'll get to it in my mailbag. anytime we talk about Colin Kaepernick, it's very controversial. So why for yes and for no? I am seeing a ton of ends flow in. And somebody said yes as a backup only. I actually don't think that it would make sense as a backup for the reason Colin Kaepernick still wants to get paid a lot of money. Speaking of a lot of money, I've been making a lot of money on BetDSI. And if you guys want to bet on the Raiders, which right now is a very smart investment, they have covered the spread 5 out of the last 6 weeks. We are 10.5-point favorites against the Bengals, and we're about to get this win again this week. And hell, next week against the Jets. So go to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. When you put down $50, you get $60 for free. And, I challenge you to find a better deal out there. Let's go to my next rumor. It's around LaMarcus Joyner. Before I came on the show, somebody said, Mitch, in your thumbnail, who's number 29? It's LaMarcus Joyner. And is LaMarcus Joyner going to be out week 11? I actually think this one's 3 Chucky heads, and I think it's pretty likely. So I'm trying to read the tea leaves, right? People are like, Mitch, you can't even read words. Now you're reading tea leaves. I'm trying, okay? So this one to me, though, is pretty likely. The reason why I think it's pretty likely is you got to think about everything that Gruden has kind of said this week around LaMarcus Joyner. So here's a quote from Jon Gruden. Nevin Lawson is a guy that can play inside. Worley can play inside. Isaiah Johnson can play outside. So we have some options. But we'll see where LaMarcus is here in the next couple of days. So basically why he said that is simply because LaMarcus, Gruden spoke about Joyner, and he just sounded really nervous. Really nervous. And then he also, you have to remember that the Raiders, they worked out 2 players on Monday. I'll get to those 2 players here in a little bit. But if he's unable to go, look for Nevin Lawson to be able to step in and ultimately take the position now, okay? Take the position at cornerback. So you would have Daryl Worley, who they've been working out at nickel because LaMarcus Joyner's been banged up. Then you're going to rely on Trayvon Mullen, Isaiah Johnson. They'll split time there, our 2 rookies, and then Nevin Lawson. So I think if LaMarcus Joyner is unable to play in this football game, this is what you're probably going to be seeing for the Oakland Raiders going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I understand it is the Cincinnati Bengals, but for the 422 people watching me right now, don't put Z's in the comment section, because if you sleep on any team in the NFL, I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. As soon as you do that, it gets bad. So who wants a shout out on the show? Type me in the comments section. You want a shout out on the show? Cool. So if you want a chance to win a custom fitted sports jacket, go on Instagram right now. Go on Instagram right now and give Kashiyama Tailors a follow. So we're doing a giveaway. Okay, we're going to announce a winner on Sunday. We're going to give out a custom-fitted sports jacket. If you follow Kashiyama Tailors on Instagram right now, that counts as 1 entry. Now, if you want 10 entries, listen up. If you live near Los Angeles, I want you to DM me on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. I have a way for you, if you live near Los Angeles, anywhere near Los Angeles, to get 10 entries and get a nice sports code. And I'll tell you what, you don't want to miss this. I put a lot of things on here. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss this. So if you live near Los Angeles, DM me on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365 that you live near LA. We got this unbelievable deal right now. And you're going to see cycling through the bottom where Kashiyama is going to be at in the event this weekend on Wednesday, on Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday. If you just go on Google Maps or whatever, Google, and type in Redac Gateway Hotel in Torrance, that's where the pop-up is. So Kashiyama, they're going to be in LA. So let's get back into some rumors here, shall we? Are the Oakland Raiders interested in Whitehead? No, not Tahir Whitehead, but Jermaine Whitehead. This one is 2 Chucky heads, okay? 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. So the Raiders, they worked out the former Cleveland Brown safety, Jermaine Whitehead, on Monday, okay? They worked him out on Monday. I don't know if you guys know this, but he was cut by the Browns after responding to online criticism with an absolutely ridiculous social media tantrum. The Raiders, I understand that we need help in the secondary. There's no doubt. Losing Carl Joseph sucks. Losing Jonathan Abrams sucks. Plus, now that we're worried about LaMarcus Joyner, it hurts. And yes, Jermaine Whitehead, when you look at his production this year with the Browns, it actually is not all that bad, right? I mean, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 41 tackles this season. However, if there is one thing that I have learned, and I think we can all agree, when I hear NFL player social media tantrum, I think of FAB. And I think the Raiders ultimately should kind of stay away from a player who has social media outbreaks. I think right now the biggest sickness in our life, in today's world, is social media sickness. And when a player goes on an absolute rampage like Whitehead did, I was going to put it on my show, but I literally can't. I can't put it on my show because it would get blocked because of how many curse words and horrible words he uses. So if you want to go check it out, do it. But also, FABs, they're always welcome in the comments section. Let's look at another player that the Raiders worked out on Monday. Are the Oakland Raiders, are they interested in DeShawn Shead? This one I'm going to give 3 Chucky heads, and this is the one that I think is pretty likely. And why do I think it's likely? Because he's not an absolute, I don't want to call Whitehead a nutcase, but he doesn't have social media tantrums, okay? Now, DeShawn Shead, he worked out with the team on Monday. He also played with the Seattle Seahawks. He won a Super Bowl 48. I did the math. That's what the Super Bowl XLV is. So he was part of the Legion of Boom. Part of the Legion of Boom. He was not as, I think, famous as the other players from the Legion of Boom. But ultimately, he started 23 games in his career. Most recently played for the Detroit Lions in 2018. He's a big dude. He's 6'2". He's going to be physical for us. I don't think he's as talented as Whitehead. But I think the fact that the Raiders worked him out on Monday, okay, I think that there's a reason why they did that, because they are ultimately a little bit more interested in him. And the last time I put a Raider on here being interested, it was Dion Jordan, and the Raiders, they went out and got him. So in 2018, DeShawn, he had 18 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 12 games played, but he only started 1 game. I think when you overall look at what the Raiders need right now, we need bodies, and we need veterans. So I think looking at a player like DeShawn Shead is a lot better. Ultimately, though, okay, both of these players are not long-term options. Neither is a long-term option. It is more of a gap fill until LaMarcus Joyner is 100% healthy and just kind of get us through the end of the year. So who's a better fit for the Raiders, Shead or Whitehead? I want you guys to throw it in the comments section. So here on the Raiders Report, we always brag that we are the most interactive channel because of guys like Nick. I see Mario. I see somebody, did I miss Edward 40 hands? No, it's on my Instagram, at Mitchell Renz 365. Go check it out. So who would be a better player for the Oakland Raiders? Type S for Shead or type W for Whitehead. Right now I'm looking at it. It's pretty mixed. I'm seeing Kelly say Whitehead. Tyler says Whitehead. Philip says Whitehead. But Louie, Sav, let's see, Eddie, they all say Shead. Remember to get in those comments, S for Shead or W for Whitehead. The last rumor on today's show is Markel Lee returning in Week 13. And also, you guys see the lower third below. If anybody's in the market for a car, text that number, okay? It might be my number. Who knows? Markel Lee, is he returning Week 13? I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, and I think it's pretty likely. I really want to be able to say 4, okay? Really want to be able to say 4. However, anytime you're looking at a player who's been out as long as Lee, you could see a setback, which I don't think is going to happen if the Raiders treat him right. But the fact that he's already practicing, that's a good sign. So he suffered an ankle injury in Week 3 versus the Minnesota Vikings. Good news, he's been designated to return from the IR, which means that he can return to practice, which he is practicing, but he's not allowed to play until Week 13. I know I said don't sleep on the Bengals. I know I said don't sleep on the Jets. We can beat the Bengals. We can beat the Jets. Let's get Markel Lee rested up for the Chiefs, Week 13. That's a big game. So I got a bad joke alert. You guys want to hear a bad joke? Type yes or type no. But to be honest with you, you're probably going to hear it anyway. So I got a bad joke alert. So I do a lot of rumors here on the show. So do the Raiders need Markel Lee? Okay? What do you think the answer to that is? Do the Raiders need Markel Lee? You ready for the answer? It's Believe It Baby. Is it bad? If it's a bad joke, type 4 for Believe It Baby. Mitch, that was an absolutely terrible joke. Now, I appreciate y'all very much, but do the Raiders need Markel Lee in all seriousness? Yes, we do. So, Markel, my man, rest up. Get ready. I see Connor say, wow. If I get a few laughs in there, it's all good. I'm all about that. So, the Raiders do need Markel Lee. So, rest up. We got a big game against the Chiefs in Week 13. So, bad joke alert. If you guys want to share it, hey, I'm always about it. That one's for Chucky Heads. Believe it, baby. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.